Rolling so you can start.
I'm supposed to do the introduction. So today we're at Florida Bariatrics and Wellness Center. We're going to be doing the first podcast, and we're actually going to be talking about Herbal Life, which is a topic that is commonly discussed on social media, and people have a bunch of questions. So we have doctors and professionals that are going to help us out with the topic. So introduce yourself, please.
I'm Dr. Rodriguez. I'm the surgeon in the facility, Florida Surgical Bariatrics and Wellness Centers. I'm blah 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 there. Hopefully we can edit that out.
I'm Catalina. I'm the manager from the practice for the surgical assistants.
And
There's more behind your name. Yeah, my name is Herny Santos. I work downstairs at the surgery center. I'm in charge of instrumentation and making sure everything is ready for surgery.
Perfect. So Herbal Life, I don't know much about it. The only thing that I know is that my cousin, she's actually my roommate, she takes it, and she's trying to overcome some weight issues. What I know is that it's supposed to be like a meal replacement. With my knowledge with nutrition, it's just, like a bro science is what I hear from people. It's like, you cannot go without breakfast and just with a shake. To me, it just doesn't seem like nutritionally it's a good thing to do. So I don't know, I wanted to get your perspective. And to like have a meal replacement like a shake, and then you go not eating for I don't know how many hours, and then you have a lunch, and then at night again you're craving food, but instead you're supposed to take a shake. I don't know, just to me it doesn't seem like it's that healthy or that good if the ultimate goal is to lose weight.
Well, what we know is that losing weight is very difficult, right? And there's a lot of programs out there that sell you their products and their different programs in general to try to get you to that goal of losing weight. And the reality is that all of them have some degree of success. The Herbal Life, for example, in general, is a good idea to have some meals replaced with high protein, low sugar, low carb diet. It doesn't necessarily have to be these type of products, but most people or some people need some structure, right? So they're good at providing that structure, the instructions and what to do at what time, and things like that. I think it's in general, we don't endorse any particular brand over another, but we think that having the structure is a great idea to start. But at the end of the day, we all have to become the stewards of our bodies and understand how they work and understand what all these products do to them. And there's no substituting just eating healthy. Substituting, good products, good quality products, things that are not too processed, things that are, again, high in protein, low in sugars, low in preservatives. And I think that in general, having these meal replacement programs is a good start. Like if you have no idea where to start, I think that that's a good way to go. But then you have to inform yourself. You have to research. You have to read, and then starting, doing it on your own. And so what in general works for the longer time.
Okay, I heard you took it for a while.
I did. I was young.
How old were you?
I was like, it was between my 16 and 18. At that time, I gained some weight.
While you were taking it? You mean
No,
you had
before
gained weight and you started taking
I
it?
gained weight, so I was looking for something to lose weight. I did a lot of things, and that was one of the products I used. It was Herbal Life. But back then, I don't know now, you had to take a lot of pills.
With the product? I don't know.
I don't know now. And so you would take the meal replacement and take some vitamins or whatever. Supplements, yeah. And I probably did lose weight.
You did?
But then you get off it, and then what do you do?
Yeah.
So you don't like...
That's the thing, like, I don't know, I don't see myself just having to shake and not eating a meal. Like, I'm like, yeah, but I still, like, I had a
think you
shake, but I
would
still not eat.
be allowed to eat like once a day.
That's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, when I was trying, I tried it, I had the shake.
Yeah.
What I did, I mixed a shake with wheat protein, and that definitely, I was not hungry after the shake. And I did it mostly in the mornings. That was like my breakfast. And then I had a reasonable lunch and a sensible dinner as well. But I did lose weight, but just like Kat said, that after I got off it, it's like, what happens next, And I started gaining the weight back, So is it a product that you gotta constantly stay on, to lose the weight to make sure that you don't gain it? That's what I'm thinking. So, but I lost the weight though.
Yeah. Or maybe there's a maintenance program.
With
Yeah,
Herbal
well,
Life?
Right, yeah, that's true too.
With Herbal Life?
With Herbal Life, yeah.
I'm not sure there is, but in general, that is where the key is, the maintenance. You know, once you lose the weight, what are the things that you need to keep doing? And then also you have to be kind of cost conscious because, you know, these products obviously entail some investment as well as, you know, what you're eating and buying. So in general, you know, dieting or not dieting, you know, a healthy lifestyle is more expensive than an unhealthy lifestyle, and then that's why you know, losing weight is so difficult. But again, I think that these products, again, you know, they serve their purpose, which is, you know, providing some structure. The idea of meal replacement is good. The idea of high protein intake is good. You know, but at the end of the day, also there are different products that may be more suitable for particular interests. For example, we always, when we evaluate any products for our patients, what we look is, you know, the amount of protein, the type of protein. You know, we prefer whey protein over soy protein. And Herbal Life, I believe, is soy protein. And we look at the carb content and the sugar content, and also, you know, the use of preservatives and the chemicals that they may be
Quick question,
using.
Doc. Why you said whey over soy?
We like whey protein over soy protein. Correct?
Why?
Yes, because the breakdown is a little bit different. Also, stays a little bit longer, makes you feel fuller a little bit longer, and also makes your body work a little bit harder to break it down, so that increase, you know, your metabolism at the same time. You know, the effects are on the longer term a little bit better for the weight loss process.
Does it matter if, for example, if I'm a physically active person and maybe my objective is to put on muscle, does it matter if I take whey or soy?
So in general, it wouldn't. Like, you know, what we want is something that is balanced, right? You cannot be just on one thing all the time, because then your body will kind of get used to it. Yeah. And then it won't respond the same way that at the beginning. Like, you know, when you try a newer diet or a new you know, dietary structure, at the beginning it seems to be very, works a little bit better, and then it kind of slows down. Yeah. Even though you're doing the same things with more or less the same amount of intake and the same amount of exercise. It's because our bodies start changing with time. But I will say that, yeah, in general, whey seems to be a little bit better. But
yeah, soy people now coming at you.
Yeah, you know, but soy protein, it's also a good source, and we eat it, you know, in different elements naturally anyhow. And also casein protein, it's the other type, which is you know, absorb a little bit faster, and also helps with the muscle buildup, and maybe even a little bit better for depending on what you're trying to do.
So would you say you recommend Herbal Life for somebody that's trying to lose weight?
I think that, again, we may consider it for some people. I wouldn't say that that's our go-to protein, but I think that if patients are familiar with it or comfortable with that brand, and they're willing to try, because that's the other thing, we can recommend a bunch of things, but it depends on what they're actually,
how committed they're going to be.
Yeah, going to. So that works better than not doing something about it, right? Than not trying something. And if that's the way they want to go, you know, we make our recommendations and try to guide them. And I think that that's a good start, you know, for some of the patients, especially that we're trying to kind of supervise their weight loss process or getting kickstart in the weight loss process.
Adi, what about you? Since you're the experienced user, would you recommend it?
Like Dr. Rodriguez says, yeah, it depends on each person on what you want to do, what your goals are, and how you want to maintain it. I think at the end of the day, it's the maintenance.
Yeah.
Like once you get off, what are you going to do?
Well, I feel like it's expensive. It's expensive,
and
it's
expensive.
It's hard. I'd rather just eat better.
In today's time, everything is going to cost you.
It's true.
Big buck, you know. Especially, you know, something like this, everything's expensive. So, you know, it's what you want to choose and what's good. And then once you come back to what she said, because I had that problem too with the maintenance. It's like, you know, what did I do afterwards? You know, that's why I was stuck.
Yeah.
Continue to spend more money, or you know,
Exactly.
or
I
work on my own.
mean, now with time you've learned, and now you exercise and you do other things.
Right,
When I was
right,
younger at that time, I didn't know.
And also, you know, there's a bunch of options. Our recommendation is always to kind of weigh different options, and you know, read the labels, understand what you're getting into your body, understand how you're responding to it, making sure that you get the best possible product of the bunch at a reasonable cost, and then you know, work at it. Research, listen to your body, understand how it's responding, and every so often have to reassess and evaluate if it's worth continuing or it's worth a change.
Cool. Well, with that said, I think it's really cool if the next podcast is actually products, and we look at the labels, and then you help us understand. 'Cause I myself, sometimes I look at a label just to like pretend like I know, but I don't really know. Like, oh, it's a lot of sugar. But then if it says 300 grams and I still don't know if that's, you know, I just have it has a lot, or this has less, but I don't know what's. So maybe for the next podcast, we'll look at that, and that's it. I don't know if you guys want to say anything else.
That'll be fine, but yeah, just
That'll be
pay
good one.
attention. We have
So
to pay
Kathy,
attention to
you pick the products, and then the doctor discusses it.
Oh, for next
Yeah.
time? Oh, sure.
So
That's
we
fine.
cool.
That'll be fine.
Great.
So good.